What is going on, everybody? The season for the New York Jets is done, man. We are in the offseason officially. We are in the offseason. Today's technically Victory Monday, by the way, as clocks hit midnight. As I started up this live, I usually don't go live at this time, but today's a special day. Not in the greatest light, but, you know, it marks the end of another season of the New York Jets. Another season of me personally creating content here on YouTube on this channel with you all. And, you know, connecting with you all on X as well. And I just kind of want to reflect a little bit, right? The Jets season's done. Will Aaron Rodgers be back next season, man? That's the first thing that I think is on everybody's mind as a Jets fan. Outside of course, who the head coach is going to be, who the GM. I mean, there's a lot of questions. But Aaron Rodgers, I think, not every Jets fan, but it's on the forefront of a lot of our minds, especially after watching him potentially play his last game as a Jet or his last game in the NFL. Or maybe he did not play his last game as a Jet. I mean, he went out there at home and put up 4 touchdowns. First time he's ever done that this season. Arguably his best game as a Jet. You know, threw an interception the first pass attempt, and then after that, I mean, he was dialed in. He really was. I mean, it wasn't a perfect game, wasn't pretty, but I'm not going to evaluate Aaron Rodgers' future off of this game today, but I feel like looking at the stats, you can argue that it's quote-unquote hollow stats. You know, the stats don't pass the eye test, but if you told me Rodgers was going to play all 17 games this year and put up 3,800 plus yards, 28 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions, I would have been like, we're going to the playoffs, right? With that type of quarterback play. But no, we don't. We win 5 games with that stat line. And that proves that stats isn't everything. Stats don't tell the whole story. Because I guarantee you, if I had a crystal ball and in August during the preseason, I told everybody, I saw the future. Rodgers plays all 17 games, and that's his stats for the season. 28 touchdowns, 11 picks. You would have been like, oh, that's a solid season. I think the Jets could win 10 games with that stat line to make the playoffs as a wild card at least, right? No. We needed a lot more than that from Aaron and the team around him. And this isn't about pointing fingers who's to blame. It's the coach's fault, it's the GM's fault, it's the owner's fault, it's the defense fault, it's Rodgers' fault, it's that fault, blah, blah, blah. Right now, I'm not in the pointing finger mode. Also, I'm happy the Jets won today. Absolutely. I've never been Team Tank. I can give 2 craps about a draft pick. Oh, the Jets lost today, and they ruined their draft pick. I mean, give me a break, man. I just can't relate to that energy. That's just not me. I'm sorry, that's not me. I root for my Jets team no matter what. Is this a quote-unquote meaningless win today? Yeah, from the standpoint that we're eliminated from the playoffs, didn't matter, but we just faced off against our division rival, the Miami Dolphins. A chance to send them home. Now, of course, if the Dolphins beat us, they still would have been sent home. No playoffs for them because the Broncos won, but come on, Jets fans. Honestly, I said this on my live show. I said it on my recap of the Jets-Dolphins game. I posted on this channel already, but I'm a host of the AFC East Roundtable, bro. Division games mean different to me. Division games mean different to me. I got to win every division game I possibly can as a Jets fan, right? But I also want to give a big shout out to everybody that supports me here on Jets Media, on YouTube, on X, on Instagram, all socials, on Bleacher Report, which is a big part of everything here. I can't thank you all enough because I started this 5 years ago covering the Jets, and I never thought I'd be where I am today. And I have such a phenomenal vision of where we're headed in 2025 and beyond, and you all are a big part of it. Expect a lot of different style content on Jets Media for the future. And this season was not easy. as a fan to get through, like you all experienced. Wasn't easy as a content creator. I think I don't want to say broke character, but I think this season opened my mind up as a content creator more than I experienced new emotions. Last year as a content creator wasn't as different because the season felt over after 4 snaps. This was different where we were healthy all year, firing the coach 5 weeks in, firing the GM, all the hope, just watching it rip away from you and watching you lose in ways that's incomprehensible week after week. Going into the fourth quarter with the lead and losing every game, it felt frustrating beyond measures. I went on rants that I never thought I'd go on. I never thought I'd go on those type of rants, just disgusted with the Jets. Like obviously we've been disgusted with the Jets for years. It's not just the first season we're disgusted with them, but for whatever reason, this year as a content creator, covering this team, going live for every game, being with you for every single game, this season took a toll on me, bro. And it feels good that it's done. I can lift that weight off my shoulders and now be excited for this new beginning that we're entering as a Jets fan base all together, bringing in a new GM, new head coach, potentially new quarterback, right? So shout out to everybody in the chat that's watching on YouTube. This is a very spontaneous live show. Hit the like button if you didn't already. Would really appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel as well. We're growing something special here. And now, here we go again. Here we go again. A whole other regime coming on in that we have to be hopeful for or pessimistic about or optimistic about. Jets finish the season with the 7th pick officially on Tankathon. Now, I always like to go to Tankathon because the cool thing about Tankathon is they give you a mock draft right away. So if you go look at Tankathon, folks, the Jets have the 7th pick in the NFL draft, and now we're in draft mode, baby. And this is who they have the Jets taking at 7. Abdul Carter, edge rusher from Penn State. Already like that idea that we're in position to get the best edge rusher in the draft. Obviously, the Jets have a hole on the edge. I mean, not a giant hole. I don't want to inflate the hole that we have at this position. Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald are 2 studs in my eyes. But getting Carter would kind of really take the top off this defense for the future. We also need interior defensive linemen as well. So if Graham somehow falls to us at 7, that's also an option. Will Johnson, you can even argue without having, DJ Reed and Eccles. I don't see the Jets going corner. But for me personally, guys, when it comes to the draft, I don't think I'm personally entering draft mode until we hire the next GM and head coach because I need to know who's making these decisions, man. Who's making the decision of this draft pick? I can't really go into draft mode yet, personally. Even though I'm there. I mean, let's be honest. I'm halfway there. Who am I kidding? I'm there. But my point is, first is the GM, then head coach, then we get to figure it out. Look who it is. We let y'all win. If there's one thing I know about TD Finstock, the one thing that will absolutely drive him absolutely mad more than anything is losing to the Jets. I know him very well, and as much as he may not want to admit it publicly or even admit it to me privately, I know how mad he is that he just lost to the Jets and let Aaron Rodgers torch his defense, getting 4 touchdown passes in a row after throwing that pick. Tyreek leaving Miami. See you on Wake Up and Ball tomorrow morning, folks. See you on Wake Up and Ball. You definitely don't want to miss that. You do not want to miss that, man. Wake Up and Ball is a show that I do, and that's a big part of 2025. I'm very fortunate to have TD as a business partner with Dan Mitchell, of course, and Colby's a big help with what we're growing at Roundtable Sports. It's a special, special experience, and I don't take for granted what we're building, and that's a big part of what we got cooked up in the 2025 calendar year. So definitely go help me out over there and check out that. Hit the like button for the boy right now. Hit the like button. We got the first super chat. Jet it out. I'm with you. 30 plus years, and first time I threw in the towel, it was so bad I stopped watching all Jets content. I was sickened by the team, and I don't blame you, brother. I don't blame you for just wanting to take a break, unplugging a little bit, brother. That's the sadness that we had to deal with, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There's some times where I want to unplug, but I don't want to make Jets videos. I need a break myself, but I got to put myself together and put you all first at times, right? But I really do appreciate the super chat, my man. Jet it out. And if you want to take a break, I will never feel like, dude, what do you mean? You're not watching me? Always take your breaks when you need it, folks. Come on now. Social media, YouTube is not everything. All right? It's not everything. So I just want to remind you guys, if you didn't know, your boy is live every single morning, Monday through Friday, on the Roundtable Sports Network YouTube channel. Wake Up and Ball. Me and TD Finns talk. I would love it if you guys can come support me over here every single morning. Wake Up and Ball is what it's called. It's live on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. We talk all sports, not just football. We talk basketball. We talk baseball. We talk all your favorite sports here. So if you guys want to go over to Wake Up and Ball, it's live on the Roundtable Sports main network channel. This is the company, the network that I'm building with my partners of TD and Dan, and we're really, really excited, man. We got a whole network of divisions. You guys know it by now. Big vision for this, and very fortunate to have this as it continues to grow, man. Yeah, TD's gonna call out, bro. TD's gonna call out sick. Yeah, so I think a big thing that we need to talk about as Jets fans is another thing that happened today. That's big news. Number one, the Patriots won, which means they dropped from 1 to 4 in the draft, because that's a big deal because they were argued to be number one. And they fired Gerard Mayo, which kind of positions them now to be the favorite to land Mike Vrabel. That's a big deal. Every Jets fan, including myself, has been pounding the table for Mike Vrabel. Not every Jets fan, but majority, I would say. And now I think we can all agree Mike Vrabel is pretty much a Patriot unless something crazy happens. Unless he was so impressed with the Jets interview on Friday. Don't see that. I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm already like, okay, not happening. Who's next, right? So I feel like who should the Jets target at the head coach position? Aaron Glenn. Dude, can we talk about Aaron Glenn real quick? I mean, Aaron Glenn put on a freaking display tonight for the Detroit Lions on defense as a defensive coordinator. Aaron Glenn, dude, he just got himself a head coaching job from the game tonight. The defense that the Detroit Lions put out there tonight, a defense that's been ridiculed with injuries all season, clamped up in the red zone. Like sticky coverage. Sticky coverage. I'm not saying hire Aaron Glenn. I'm not saying, oh, he's my favorite now, number one guy. All I'm saying is tonight's game, the way the Detroit Lions defense played tonight, that definitely boosted his head coaching pedigree. That's all I'm going to say. That was impressive stuff. And Aaron Glenn seems to be in line with the Saints, is where he's rumored to be really favored to go to. This is a guy that has Bill Parcells in his blood, Jets draft pick, ties with the Jets organization, former player by the Saints as well. So there's a tie with him in the New Orleans Saints organization. And it seems like he's a good leader. So that's a guy the Jets should be talking to. Ben Johnson. So the Jets can officially talk to Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn virtually this week, now that they have the bye. That's how it works. That's how it works. Lascelles with the super chat says, can you talk football, like Premier League and stuff like that on Wake Up and Ball? I don't have knowledge in it, so TD and I would have to get knowledge in it. I don't really like to talk about sports that I don't know much about because I like to make sure I know what I'm talking about. That's why I don't talk much about hockey, because I'll be honest, I don't watch hockey. I don't really know much about anything to do with hockey. Be honest with you guys. I know hockey's a great sport. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but I don't talk hockey on YouTube because I don't watch it. I don't watch the sport. Same thing with football. Nothing against soccer, nothing against football, but I'm not super into it, and I have to get super into it, which I probably will eventually one day. So, Lascelles, appreciate the super chat. Me and TD will definitely consider that. Andy with the super chat, $2. Go ahead, bring Rodgers back. Say goodbye to Garrett Wilson. Listen, man, you never know what is true online anymore. I'm just going to see what happens if we bring back Aaron Rodgers. I think that the Jets are going to come together tomorrow, have a discussion. Rodgers, their owners, are going to get on the same page with things. The guys that they're looking to hire. Is Aaron part of the plans for the future or not? Ideally, I like to keep Aaron for a year, draft a quarterback. Obviously, hopefully keep Garrett Wilson, but we'll see, man. I have no idea. At this point, man, I can't even predict where the Jets are going to go, man. Folks, do me a favor. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the show right now. Hit the like button. It's as simple as that. All you got to do is just smash it, man. Great way to support the channel for free just by hitting the like button. Isn't that cool? You can just support me right now by hitting the button. Just by hitting the button. That's all you got to do. Really appreciate that. Thought to do a spontaneous late night live, right? Late night live. Also considering a new show on Jets Media to get a little more structured this year. A lot of new things on the horizon. How about bringing an expert on sport you don't know? Wake up and ball. All right, Lissell, now you're talking my language here. Because I told you I have a vision for this. And now you're speaking the vision. I don't want to spoil it, Lissell, but that's the whole vision, is to find the experts and have them on to interview them. And a good example of this, Lissell, now that you're on to us, is we already experimented with this before. And I'll show you what I mean right here. We brought on Wardy NYM as a guest for a Juan Soto free agency segment, right? And the whole reason for that is Wardy is our, Mets baseball insider. That's the whole idea. So we want to bring in creators from all across YouTube, right? We brought Wardy on for the latest news of Juan Soto. This was on the Wake Up and Ball show, right? So we brought him on and we talked all things about Juan Soto. So that's kind of the idea, right? Bring in a baseball guy to talk about baseball. When we talk about the Premier League, we'll find a soccer YouTuber. We'll bring him on for that reason. So that is the vision of Wake Up and Ball and what we're building at Roundtable Sports, right? Richie, will you be talking Knicks tomorrow morning? I could if you want me to. Like right now, be transparent with you guys. I have so many shows, and I'm trying to develop more structure where I have like a daily show at a certain time. Like I'm thinking of launching a new Jets show every Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. EST. Live on this channel every 2 p.m. You guys can expect me live at 2 o'clock. And then the same thing I'm thinking about the Knicks. Where's a time slot every day where I can go live for the Knicks? As you know, we're live every Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. for Wake Up and Ball already. We're live at 3 p.m. every Monday through Friday for the Huddle. So I'm busy. I'm a busy man, and I keep trying to add to my content schedule. All right, that's kind of the vision here. And you know what? Like, this is a fun little show. I'll even be transparent with you guys and show you what I was working on today. This is a little, what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Behind the scenes, it's late night. We get to do some different things. I'll show you what I worked on today. For those interested. Some of you guys probably don't give a crap, but for those interested, I made this on Google of what my content schedule can look like for the 2025 calendar year, right? So Wake Up and Ball Monday through Friday. Well, I'm on Wake Up and Ball Monday through Thursday. Fridays, I can't be there. TD does it himself because for a personal reason, whatever. And then I'm thinking of adding a new daily Jets show at 2 o'clock Monday through Friday. That'll be new. And then we got the Huddle every day at 3 o'clock. Thinking of doing a Knicks show at 4. And then I have a brand new Bleacher Report schedule that starts in 2025, which is fun. I'm on Bleacher Report covering the Knicks every Tuesday and Thursday at 5 o'clock. And then I'm on Bleacher Report every Wednesday talking about the Jets at 6 o'clock. So I'm on Bleacher Report 3 times a week. 2 times for the Knicks, 1 time for the Jets. So I'm a busy man coming up. Busy man. We'll see what 2025's got cooking up. So if you guys want to support me on all these shows, it'd mean a lot. I really do appreciate it. I would really, really appreciate it. And then, of course, the AFC's Roundtable. And this doesn't even include what we're doing on Roundtable Sports. That's a whole other animal. So just a little, if you will call it that, of what I've been trying to figure out and how to make time for. Maybe you should do your Mets. Yeah, I have a Mets YouTube channel, but it's just hard to keep up with, bro. It really, really is. It really, really is. If you do become a fan, though, don't be a fan of Man United. I'll keep that in mind. Are you a Manchester United fan, Lissell? Is that why you're saying that? Appreciate that. This kid just doesn't get laid. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment with my girlfriend. She's in her bedroom sleeping right now while I'm in my studio working. So, nice try. Try again next time. Oh, it's too easy sometimes. Some people just walk in to the trap. You know what I mean? When they say stuff like that. Nice try. But getting back into the New York Jets, switching topics back to the end of the season. It's the end of the season, man. Off season, bro. Off season's here, folks. And unfortunately, we are back to where we're comfortable, Jets fans. How sad is that? How sad is that? That we're most comfortable and more excited in the offseason. And the reason for it is because in season we stink. We don't win football games. Come on now. We don't win football games, so when it's the offseason, we're like, this is where we can be happy again. I'm sick of being happy in the offseason. I'll be making content all offseason. Don't you worry about that. But come on. Come on. Now we're in draft mode. Also want to let you guys know, your boy is going to the Senior Bowl. I got approved for credentials, media credentials. I'm going to Mobile, Alabama. Your boy is going down to Alabama. All right? It's going to be an interesting experience. I'm going to be there for the practice, and guess who's going to be at the Senior Bowl? Jackson Dart. I'm going to be scouting my boy Jackson Dart. You guys know I've been talking about it for a minute now. And then I also got to study everybody else. So I did get approved for credentials, and the cool thing about getting approved with credentials, it was through Roundtable Sports. Roundtable Sports is the affiliation that I applied through. Like when you have to apply for these credentials, media credentials, you have to tell what entity are you affiliated with, right? Some people work for ESPN, they get credentials through there. Some people work for a radio station. I quote unquote work for, even though I own the company, Roundtable Sports. So it's cool. It's cool stuff. I'm going to be there with Dan Mitchell. Colby might be coming. TD can't go because he's going to be in Disney. Come on, TD. And then our Lions creator, Dosef Dion. Awesome dude, by the way. Go check out Dosef Dion on YouTube. Great friend of mine. First time going to be meeting him in Alabama. We got a nice Airbnb crib. We're going to be doing like a little content house. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Speaking of that, I got to book the trip, actually. I got to book my flights probably tomorrow in the Airbnb. That's going to be cool. We're going to be there for like 4 nights. I'll be making videos from Alabama. A little content, a little business trip, right? Talk about the prospects that I see in the draft. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. So I think Jalen Milroe is going too at the quarterback position. I got to study the Senior Bowl acceptance people. I don't know who it is, who's there yet. But now that I know that I'm going, I'm going to freaking study the roster and figure out all the best players, figure out the guys I'm looking to watch out for, give you guys. And my favorite part about it is usually when we talk about the Senior Bowl, we are relying on other people, like perspectives of the Senior Bowl at practice to formulate our opinions. Now I can give you guys my own opinion based off of what I see with my own eyes. That's the difference when you get to go and witness it. Like, I love going to Jets training camp because I get to watch the practice with my own eyes and I can see what happens on the field and I can give you guys my thoughts of it. Besides relying on reporters that are at practice who are basing our information off of their tweets and their analysis. I'm going to see the practices. I'm going to tell you guys what I see. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. Anthony on X asks, do you watch a lot of college football? I'll be completely transparent with you. I don't. I'm not super into college football. I really want to be. I get into college football for the draft. At this part of the year, I study on all the prospects, which I already started. I'm more into like the draft element of college football. I watch, the playoffs, college playoffs, and I watch some big games, but I don't watch it like a big college football fan would, right? And I get into the prospect side of things of I watch college football is what I'm saying, but I don't watch it like I'm a huge college football fan, if that makes any sense. Right? That's what I'm trying to say. Be transparent. I'm not going to lie. Let's go. How about a rundown on the players about to leave? Who contract is up? Who's asking for a trade? Great question. Great question. Richie, the Jets community is proud of you. Well, thank you, Brees Lightning. From AFC East Roundtable and Jets Media to like 10 channels. Well, thanks for recognizing that, man. I do a lot, and sometimes I don't even pat myself on the back for what I do. I just do it and just chill with it. You know what I mean? Appreciate you for recognizing that, my man. I think to go back to the question from Twisted, DJ Reed's gone. Jamie Sherwood is a guy I hope the Jets extend. Quincy Williams could be up for a contract extension, by the way, because he made a tweet saying he wants to get paid. And he's being underpaid for, he got re-signed by the Douglas regime. Who knows? This is how I look at it. Going into this offseason, Jets fans, we really have to remove ourselves from our love of some of these players. Because I think there's going to be a lot of guys that we love that's going to get traded or cut. Because we're getting a new coaching staff and a new GM that's going to evaluate every single player on the roster and choose if they fit, if their finances, does their contract, does everything fit their vision. And if it doesn't fit their vision, they will trade them. Right? And I'm going to connect this with the Knicks real quick. Follow me here. If you're a basketball fan or not, I'll make it make sense. The Knicks hired Leon Rose, right, as the president of the Knicks. And when he came here, Leon Rose hired Tom Thibodeau as the head coach. And what Leon Rose did, which was so magnificent, which made the Knicks a relevant team again, is he inherited a team and he traded all the people he doesn't want. He got assets for everything. It's pretty much what Joe Douglas did too, by the way, but he failed at it in terms of the execution side of things. Leon Rose, on the other hand, he acquired all this talent, and then for years he built a team up where he can trade for the guys he wants, rips away the players that was here from the previous regime, got his guys, and now the Knicks are good. So this new regime is going to evaluate this team, trade the guys that they don't want, bring in their guys. That's pretty much what Joe Douglas did, but Joe Douglas failed. Right? So Quincy Williams, and listen, I'm just bringing up names. I'm not saying I want to get rid of them. Tyler Conklin is a free agent, I believe. The whole interior defensive line are all on one-year deals outside of Quinnen, Solomon Thomas, Javon Kinlaw. I mean, Michael Clemens, is he a free agent? I want him gone, please. So we have a hole at corner. We have a big hole at tight end, gigantic hole, gaping hole at safety. We're going to need two new starting safeties. And, offensive line depth is always something that we should be looking into. Right tackle is a hole at the starting five because Morgan Moses is a free agent. Quarterback. And then the big concern is, the stars on the team, right? Garrett Wilson, where's his head at? Breece Hall, entering a contract year. Sauce Gardner. Jermaine coming off an Achilles, right? What is he up to? These are the tough decisions. Are we going to pay Garrett Wilson? Is he going to ask for a trade? Are we going to extend Sauce? Are we not going to extend Sauce right now? I don't think the Jets should be in any rush to extend Sauce. I'd extend Garrett now. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I would. I'd also keep Devontae Adams next year, even if Rodgers doesn't return. He's still a baller. I mean, he also proved on the Raiders that he can be a baller without Aaron Rodgers, by the way. He's not. Don't get it twisted. Devontae Adams is not a product of Aaron Rodgers only. He went to Vegas and balled with Gardner Minshew. So I'd consider keeping Devontae and Garrett together next year. Draft another receiver in the draft. So you have Garrett, Devontae, Corley, and a rookie with whoever the quarterback is, right? And, it's going to be an interesting evaluation because I think that this new regime could, want to flip some of the core guys that we love. Maybe they want to trade Quinnen. Not saying I want to trade Quinnen. Maybe they want to trade Breece Hall. Not saying I want to trade Breece, but maybe they want to. Maybe they want to cut Quincy Williams. I don't know. I'm just telling you guys that there's some opportunities here where we could see an overhaul, bro. We could see this team ripped to its bones, potentially. You know what I mean? This team could be ripped to its core. And I don't know if that is needed or not. I think the first thing is who we're hiring. When we hire someone, I can tell you what the vision would be more clearly. As of right now, I have no idea. I don't know what they're going to do. And it's frustrating to speculate, but it's another season in the dumpster. Another season. And you can argue that this team, what we always talked about is they're talented, but they can't win. So you can argue that the proper coaching staff can come in here, keep the same roster as it is, make a few tweaks, of course, some additions, add depth, and we'll be winning. I mean, coaching matters. And the New York Jets lost 5 games this season. 5 games they lost with the lead going into the fourth quarter. That's 5 wins. If we won those 5 games, we would have won 10 games and made the playoffs. That's the reason why the Jets failed this season. Take your emotions out of it for a second and look at what happened on this team with legitimately what happened. The Jets failed in the clutch, both offensively and defensively. Right? That's what I'm trying to say. So the Jets are going to go into a deep evaluation mode. And the weird thing about this season is we did not get injured on offense. Usually we do. And now I can say it so there's no more jinx involved. Our entire playmakers this year stayed fully healthy. Can we talk about that for a second? Wide receivers, tight ends, and running backs stayed healthy all year. And quarterback. Now, Rodgers was a little banged up, but our offensive line was pretty much healthy for the most part. You're never going to get a fully healthy offensive line. But, I mean, our interior offensive line stayed healthy. I know AVT nicked up a little bit. Joe Tippmann played all year. Simpson played all year. Tyron Smith played half the season, then Olu, and then he got hurt. Morgan Moses battling. Warrior. But the tight end position, fully healthy. No injuries. Conklin played every game, I believe. Breece Hall, healthy all year. With Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, healthy. Garrett Wilson, healthy all year. Lazard got hurt. He was on IR. That was it. On offense, we stayed healthy, and that's sad because it's rare that you have that much health on a phase of the ball. So we can't even, and what I'm trying to say is, we can't even use the injuries as an excuse this year. Usually it's like, oh, last year we lost because our quarterback got hurt. Right? The entire season last year, you can use the injury excuse. This year, you can't use that excuse anymore. There wasn't any injuries. The only big injury that we suffered was Jermaine Johnson going down in the beginning of the season, which, by the way, definitely impacted the defense. Let's be honest. Jermaine Johnson was like, you could argue, in my opinion, would have proved to be one of, if not the best player on defense this season. He was destined to become a star. If there was one player that I had so much confidence in to break out, it was Jermaine Johnson. He was on his way to become a household name, which is sad. So, yeah. The offense was fully healthy, and they did not live up to expectations. Shout out to Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson did hit career highs this season, which is cool. Career high in receptions, career high in touchdowns. Did he get career high in yards? I don't know. Let me see. What did he finish with? Garrett Wilson's stats. He finished this season with 1104. Yeah, that's a career high. 1 more yard than his rookie year. So Garrett Wilson finished with a career high. Improved in every single category this season. Most touchdowns, most yards, most receptions. Had over 100 catches as well. It's a pretty good season for Garrett Wilson. Especially when Devontae came here and kind of, stole a lot of targets. Oh, wow. You know what, Henny? I didn't even bring him up because he already, we're evaluating the roster of who's gone. I didn't even bring up this guy because in my brain, he's not even a Jet. He never was. The worst player to ever come through the New York Jets organization is this man right here, Hassan Reddick. Goodbye. You don't even exist in my brain. You don't. Now, let me add some positives. I think the core guys that if you're a Jets fan to be excited about for the future, that you can definitely see this new regime be when they're coming to this team as a new GM or new head coach, they're excited about. It's definitely Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis. I think you can say are 2 young, promising running backs. Breece Hall is definitely attractable. I mean, knowing the Jets, if the Jets move off of Breece Hall, he becomes Saquon Barkley on another team. So I still trust Breece Hall enough where if you give Breece Hall a new coaching staff, I still believe in Breece. I know he didn't live up to the expectation this season. He regressed statistically this year. I still believe in Breece. Just saying. Especially on a 1-year contract. Olu Fashanu, of course, is the big one that Jets fans should be excited about. Will McDonald is a guy you should be excited about. Double-digit sacks in year 2. If you're a first-round pick and you're getting double-digit sacks in your second season, I think that's a plus. John Simpson is under contract next year at left guard. Joe Tippmann proved to be a solid center. AVT, the offensive line's pretty good as a core unit, which you can be excited about. And then outside of that, I mean, Malachi Corley, you don't know who he is. Garrett Wilson, of course, is a star receiver. You can argue top 10, top 15, in my opinion. And then Sauce, I still think has a lot of tools. Like, you look at Sauce's season, we're so used to Sauce being like number one, no ever having any issues, but he still had a quality season. Like, he still had a good season. Sauce has had a good year. For his standards, not good, though. We expect him to be the best in the league. And when he's not the best anymore, people will get upset, right? He had issues this season tackling. He had more penalties called at him this year. But he still locked down the end zone, did not give up a lot of yards. Like, the only problems with Sauce this season was not, like, if you want to only talk about Sauce's weaknesses, which is tackling and penalties, you also got to bring up the strengths, right? You also got to bring up the strengths. Because Sauce Gardner did not give up any yards again. He did not give up any touchdowns. Maybe one touchdown if they gave him that. Like, that's what he's good at. So you take the elite coverage skills of Sauce, but his concerns are tackling, being physical, and penalties. And of course, those are things you got to talk about. Those are issues. But let's not forget about what he's good at. If you're going to bring up what he's bad at, don't forget to bring up what he's good at. And I think those things he can improve on, tackling and penalties, personally. So, yeah. Jamie Sherwood is a guy that if there's one pending free agent that I want to re-sign the most, it's Jamie Sherwood. He's been a guy I've been excited about for a while, developing behind CJ Mosley. Forgot even about CJ Mosley, bro. CJ Mosley, he's probably gone. That's a lot of money coming off the books, by the way, the Jets can use. So you'll see. Mr. Super Cheerio, do you have any opinion on Dylan Gabriel yet? No, I don't. I haven't done my homework on him. I mean, I know of him, of course, from Oregon and seen some games, but I haven't done like a prospect evaluation on him yet, but I will. I heard a lot of things about him that I'm very intrigued on. Well, I'm kind of tired, guys. Just a wave of tired just hit me. I think I'm going to go to sleep. I never go live at this hour. I never do. But I decided to do it since it's the end of the season. I'm probably going to wrap up the show here, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the show. I love you all for tuning in. Oregon QBs never translate. Justin Herbert and Bo Nix are doing pretty well. Just saying. But yeah, bro, I'm exhausted. Today was a long day for me, covering the Jets and everything. But I'm probably gonna get out of here. You guys can catch me. I'll wake up and ball first thing in the morning. Me and TD Fins Talk, of course. Make sure you guys go subscribe over to this channel as we're live on here for Wake Up and Ball every morning, 8:30 a.m. EST. Come on through. I'll put the link in the chat for you all. Late night streams, man. I never really do this. Do you guys like the late night streams? Come on now. All right. Appreciate you all. I'll see you guys there. My guy, Hennessy. I know Henny will be there because Henny is so dialed into this TD Fins Talk dynamic, which I love. Because Henny knows. He was there. Henny was there when Rodgers tore his Achilles. What I had to deal with TD. You were right next to me, brother. You're right there. Thank you, Jamie. Appreciate that. Have a good... Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you, bro. Anthony, appreciate you tuning in from X. You're the man, Richie. Thanks for battling all year. James, my guy. Much love to you, bro. Much love to you. Glad I was here for the ride, Richie. Robin, my dude. Much love to you, my man. Appreciate you. Thanks, Brees. GG's, Richie. Thanks for the content this year. Thank you, bro. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you all off season. I ain't going nowhere. Do you remember the funny super chat during the stream for TD? No, I don't. What was the funny super chat? I gotta go. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Enjoy your night, folks. Get some rest. Let's go Jets.